So we got Dennis McKinney here pulling up to the Pink Link.
Yep, Pink Link, Sip South, Sip and Share Wines. How y'all doing today?
Yeah, so you gonna show us what you bringing?
I got
what you got?
What I got in here? All of the things here. The trusty wine bag. What do we got here? Intention. Okay. So this is a German style off-dry Riesling. It's going to be real crisp, real citrusy, but it packs a little punch.
Okay.
That's
I like the top.
The top, yeah, it's an aerated pourer. And then we have Awaken. This is a sweet white. This is one of the first wines my sister made. So you can actually use it as a sangria. Matter of fact, this is mixed with this wine and agave wine. That's how you get these two.
Wow.
So then this is the sip gria that we have, which is a ready to drink cocktail.
I've had that.
Right. And here goes Abundance, which is our sweet red. This kind of tastes like communion. That other white one kind of tastes like a Capri Sun. But this is grape and has a blood orange flavor to it, so that's pretty awesome. And then from here, that's the Manifest Chardonnay. This is not as oaky. We took some of that out. Not as buttery, but this is a pretty strong one, so do be careful. But ice cold, it's gonna get the job done.
Okay.
Like 16%.
So, okay, I'm gonna let you finish, and then I'm gonna ask you what I'm gonna ask.
Conjure. This is our this is a Old Vine Zinfandel. So this was actually Forbes top 10 summer wine for 2020. Just we were in the house for COVID.
Wow.
And then the last one that we got here is going to be Gratitude, the everyday attitude. This is a Cab Merlot blend. So this is going to be it's dry, but it doesn't hit your tongue. It doesn't give you that chalky taste, and it doesn't hit your throat.
Okay, so how do y'all come up with the names?
It was just we try to use words that our family uses a lot, affirmational words, and each bottle, like for example, Intention, they have a color, and that color also matches the stone.
Wow.
So all liquor is a spirit. You go to the store, it's like wine and spirits.
Mm-hmm.
So you're getting something in your body that you may not want. Like what is anything is possible? Goose makes you lose. You know, people have certain reactions off of alcohol. So we just put an energy in it. So if you want abundance in your life, you drink abundance. You're thinking about it, you're drinking it, then it'll help you manifest it.
Love it, love it. So, okay, check them out. Sip South.
Yep.
Sip and share. Hey y'all, what's up? It's your girl Marquita Vion with the Pink Link Podcast, where we have powerful, innovative, next level conversations with a K, because we fancy like that. And this podcast is centered around entrepreneurs, purposeful people like myself, who's out here and creating the life they desire. Like I always tell you all, you're great in the life you desire, you create. So that's the initiative and that I have behind this podcast, and just bringing those guests on to be able to make an impact and inspire you to do the same. So today I have with me my guest Dennis McKinney. Am I saying your name right?
Kearney, yep.
McKinney of Sip South Wines Hunting. And so I'm gonna let him just introduce you all to himself and fill you in a little bit more, and then we're gonna get into the conversation.
Yep, my name is Dennis Sip South, SIPSOUTH, but I do run the whole southern division of Sip and Share Wines. Sip and Share Wines is a family winery that we produce our wines out of Indiana. My sister, she's the Capitana. She owns it, runs it, makes all the wines. She sends it out to the different states that we have, and we make it for people who are underrepresented in the wine community. We've done a lot of different things in the wine industry as far as being supporters of different brands, and we come to find out that sometimes we want to be treated in a different manner. So we decided to have a wine that's targeted for those people who may feel the same way, but also want a good wine. Even though it's vegan, it still works for everybody.
Yes, and I thank you for the intro. Shout out to your sister. What's her name?
It's Nicole Kearney. She is.
Shout out to Nicole Kearney
at Sip and Share Wines. You can find her. You find me. You find her. We get down.
Okay, connected, link like that.
Absolutely. That's how you like that.
I love it. You see, I'm like back at it.
That's a sip gria.
Back at it again. I love it. So What's the alcohol percentage of this?
Might be
13%, hunty.
that's a sweet white mixed with agave wine. This is not one of our 7, and we don't even have these like in the stores. It's a nice ready to drink cocktail, already ready for you.
Yes. Okay. So let's get into it. How did y'all come about with making wine? Like, what started it? Is just your sister started it.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you said to get a different take, with the wine industry on the conversations and things like that. But I mean, what else did drove her to start this company?
I'm gonna paraphrase her story because I heard her tell it a couple times. But she used to be a wine rep for other brands, and sometimes you bring your friends out. There's a whole room full of people. You're sitting at the table, and sometimes the placement of the table is not representing the value that we're bringing. So if you're getting placed by the bathroom, or you're getting placed all the way in the back, just because our friends are cool. So when we get around each other, we have a good time. We like to laugh and kiki, as she said. Mm-hmm. And then you get the shh, or to be quiet, So we just wanted to have an environment that was conducive to how our friends, and we're a military family, so we have like an eclectic group of friends. Oh. So everybody has good personalities, and they like to show it, and we like to have a good time. So she wanted to do it on her own, and found out she could make her own wine.
Wow. Okay. So once she started, how long was she just doing it, and then she started involving, other sectors of the business?
It's basically how our family works. Is somebody's doing something, we support them. So
that's great.
The whole time.
We're gonna speak up, y'all, just in case we may be speaking a little low.
Yeah, you got to do something so you can support your family. She was doing vending events. I happened to be there too, doing some other things, so I always got in. And if she needed something, I was always there. So if she needed something like wine help, or bottling, or putting those labels on, or sticking the little thing, I was there to help her through the whole process.
Amazing. That was great to just have that type of family support, because, a lot of times when we're starting our businesses, they say, well, I know, for example, family be the last to support, because they're like, what are you talking about? How you gonna do that? They don't see how you gonna get millions of dollars to make millions of dollars, when it doesn't start with millions of dollars. It starts where you are. Yep. So that was great that you believe. So what made you believe in her, just seeing her drive? Well, I don't want to answer the question, but what made you believe in her?
She's always done different things. So this wine is like later in life. She's wrote plays.
Let me ask you, was those other things successful for her?
Mm-hmm. So you
knew she had the juice.
Yeah, she had the juice. If she's gonna do it, it's gonna work, and it's gonna be more like. Is she tired of it now, or has she evolved, or is there something else she want to do?
Transitioning to something else, not that she just failed or whatever.
I can't remember her failing. She might have got out when she seen something was not about to be right.
Right.
But she's pretty good, good sound mind, good business lady. So it's kind of like a no-brainer.
Okay, I love that. And so, who else in the family is a part of this company as well?
It's me, it's my cousin, without naming everybody's name because I might forget, because this wine does get you. But I actually first start off as her partner, David, partner in life, partner in wine. He actually makes the wine for us. Okay. And then we have a couple nephews, like little Anderson. I say little because he's just younger, but he's gonna be a nice little businessman, because he does every part of our business. So he's learning to figure out what he really wants to do.
Wow, so that he can continue to take it to new levels.
We got him in sales now, so he's doing sales calls for us.
So he got that youth juice too.
Absolutely.
They be innovative, I would say, with what they can do, and for technology, and just taking it to another
dimension. Different generation, right?
Right. So their mindset against y'all mindset, which is great, and what y'all doing, but it could definitely, take it to something else and be so innovative with it. What else I want to ask? Because I didn't get no questions, y'all. This is the second episode, I think, or maybe the third. I ain't do no questions. So, and I like a natural conversation flow. And so we're outside, as you can see, at the park. So we're going to give you a little joke right quick. And, well, it ain't a joke, but it was funny to us because we couldn't believe it. You already know what I'm talking about. So as soon as we sat down, this young lady comes up, and she had some in her bag, look like a puppy, and it's a big old park. Like, it's so many spaces out here you can go to. So she see us, and I'm trying to set up, and she said, "Hi, do you all mind if my bunny jump around?" And I'm like, "Bunny? I'm just getting used to my dog, you know." And so, honey, I was like, I wouldn't be able to focus with no bunny jumping around, honey. So I was like, well, there's a little space over there.
Real live bunny.
Not to be rude or mean, but no. I just
Ground all muddy and everything. She wants the bunny to hop around right where we at.
Exactly. Like, I don't know. She didn't know, but I know I didn't know what to expect, and it wasn't for to go down like that today. No.
I thought it was a puppy at first.
I said no so quick before I knew it, because I'm like, I mean, she could have just let the bunny out without asking. And I would have been like, hold on.
She wouldn't have let it out over here anyway, because as soon as she walked, she heard that squish in the ground when it was wet. Yeah. She didn't want that bunny running around over here.
It was a white bunny, too. Would have been dirty, would have been taking the pet smarter somewhere. So they were trying to prevent that. So I guess they see this little concrete, but there's plenty of concrete right there. But I guess that's what I'm saying. The reason why they end up leaving, because there's plenty of concrete for the bunny to hop around. But once the bunny start hopping, you don't know where the bunny gonna hop to. I ain't want the bunny hopping by me.
Facts.
Okay, so I just had to fill y'all in on that little insider right there, because I was lost with that. What else I want to just discuss today? So, you all grew up in Indiana?
Nah, we're a military family, so we grew up in different parts.
Okay.
Indiana was just the last place that we stopped before we went back to Germany. My sister stayed.
Oh, okay. So y'all went back to Germany, but she stayed in Indiana.
She was older, so she stayed. She was at that college life. She stayed behind, and she just grew and built her reputation there.
Oh, wow.
And then when I got out of school, I had a knee surgery in college playing ball. Shout out to Methodist University. I needed someplace to go. My parents had a job in Oregon, so I just went to the closest family member, and that was Indiana.
Okay, and that was with your sister.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how y'all built the bond to be able to find the company and stuff.
That's when we got closer, because I was there as an adult versus being there as a kid, because she's a few, I ain't gonna say your age, but she's a couple years older than me. So.
I was just gonna ask, what was the age gap between you both?
It's we in 2 different decades. How about that?
Okay, well, that's good. But you know, they say black don't crack, sis, so
don't even
it don't even matter.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure she doesn't look her age, no matter what the age is. But it's a blessing and a grace to continue to, you know, continue to climb in age. I would say that.
To be alive.
Right. To be, yeah.
That part.
That part, we just must go, sis.
Yep.
So what brought you to Atlanta?
When I was in Indiana working, and then COVID started coming.
Okay, so you recently came to Atlanta.
I've been here about a year.
Okay, so how do you like it so far?
Love the weather. I mean,
compared to Indiana, I'm not for. Is Indiana Midwest?
Midwest.
Okay,
right
so it's cold.
It's cold. It gets cold. Like sometimes that temperature, not to crack on my indie folks, but sometimes the temperature will read like 0.
Oh no!
And that's not even including the wind chill. Like they canceled school because it's too cold for the people to stand on the bus stop.
So they close so they
school.
Do online school or what?
I mean, they probably do now because after COVID things change, they can transition. They should have the infrastructure already, but back then it was just a free day,
right?
Not a snow day, a cold day. Yep. But I like it down here. I like the parks.
I bet you do.
The people.
Being from Indiana, where it's 0 degrees.
Yep. Closer to the youngins, so that makes a big difference as well.
Oh, you have children down here too?
Just one. I got a son down here.
Okay, that's amazing. So, are you married or single?
Not single life.
Okay.
On that journey.
You know what? I'm glad I dived into that, because, you know, I was like, any specific questions, and sometimes you just get to talking. I like to get people's status, because then you can ask some other questions around that, you know, in the journey, whether they married, single, separated, whatever. So how's the single life journey has been being in Atlanta, and how long have you been single?
I mean, I've been single for a minute, but the journey has just been, since I've been here, every weekend I got something to do. So the wine is keeping me engaged, and the wine is a star. And then if I'm not doing wine, I have my son, or he'll come with me depending on the event. Because a lot of events, if it's not too adult, he'll just sit back here and he'll work with me.
Okay.
So it's keeping me grounded because I know there's a path
Wait,
you
your
gotta go.
son, I'm listening. Your son was at the all-purpose vegan. Oh, okay.
Yep, he was
So
there.
how your son for the people?
What's up, Den? He is 10 years old. Dennis
What's up,
Kearney the
D-D?
third. Yep.
Wow. Okay, so that's amazing.
You see, he sits back there and he'll do his thing. If you need help, he'll help clean up.
Yeah, I found that definitely impressive that your son was there working with you, because I was like, okay, you got the kid. That was great. Okay, so you say you've been single for a minute, and so with business and things like that, that's your main focus right now as well.
I mean, anything's got to go in the same direction, because you could be in a direction and then come across people and now you way over here, but I still got to do this. So it's got to be something that comes in my piece, yep, and not be a disruption.
Y'all go watch my last video before this. Well, it might not be posted before this one, but I posted it, what's today? March the 25th.
Yep.
About dating and being in alignment when you dating, when you're on purpose, because I was saying this and you just tell me your thoughts. Someone was getting at me about well, just going on dates, and it's easy to just go on a date, but if you have a conversation with someone, you know whether or not you want to go on that date, or do you feel like whether or not the conversation was right that you should still go on a date with someone?
I mean, I'm big on reading energy, especially like dealing with wine. I kind of know when you come up, what kind of wine do you want? I'm taking a gauge so I can try to give you another kind of wine to be able to help you on your journey. So I'm not really about to be wasting. I'd rather sit home and watch a movie with my son and be out just wasting. Because every time you go outside in Atlanta,
it was just me.
It's $200. You want to go to the gas station, that's $150. I mean, it's...
Yeah. But I thought it was just me, because I'm like, my word for the year was intentional, you all. And y'all have a wine called
Intentions.
Intentions. I thought he was going to bring Intentions wine.
I got them in the car. I keep them.
Wow. So it's made like this, but it has intentions on it. But when you're on a journey and you being purposeful and intentional with your life, you're able to discern and definitely decipher if someone else is being intentional. And if they're not intentional with themselves, it's not in alignment with you, because you're being intentional with yourself.
Right.
And so if they're not intentional with themselves, they intention for you ain't gonna be what they need to be, for you, because hey, you ain't even intentional with you. And that's just how I feel. I'm too purposeful. I can be doing a podcast like I'm doing now. So, or editing or something, or learning something to grow my channel. And that's how I feel like, baby, I'm 38. We ain't got time to waste. We got to keep it going. Be purposeful, creating the life we desire, like Sip South is doing,
Time is valuable.
Yes,
and if I want to waste it, I want to waste my time. I don't want to waste it on,
And that's what I was saying, like, it's easy. The $200 loss is less expensive than my time.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying?
To lose
Because
both
that person can make that back, but I can't get my time back. So I have to be intentional with it. It has to be in alignment, purposeful. It may not be perfect, but it has to be worth it. That's the stage I'm at.
Yep, that part. That's fact.
Yes. So I'm glad, we just dive into that right fast. And so you've been out here for a year. So besides Sip South, are you doing anything else, or that's your main focus in Atlanta?
All in the wine, because I'm running just because I'm in Atlanta. I also have the DMV. I have Florida, North South Carolina. So I run everything under the Mason-Dixon line, and my sister runs everything above it.
So you have to travel.
Actually, thankfully, shout out to my cousin Drew, Sip South DMV. We actually put our headquarters in places where we have a family member, so we don't have to. A family member that can run it on their own.
I'm loving this family.
Yeah, we got a big family, and thankfully, our family has sense and talents that we can use their natural talents that they got in the corporate world and just bring it on to the business.
Wow, do y'all hear this? I mean, I'm manifesting this mindset within my family. Do y'all hear this? Like, just you just mentioning just how y'all just in different areas, different states, and just still coming together for a purpose of building a legacy within you all family is amazing.
Yep. I appreciate it.
Wow.
Thankfully for this family, because it could be worse.
I'm not worse. Honey, y'all are doing excellent. I mean, I know it's nothing perfect you know, I know it's maybe things that come up, but even when things come up, it's being able to, you know, talk through those things within the family and still get the job done and still be purposeful overall for what the main objective is.
Everybody's on the same page, because at the end of the day, it's all about wine.
Exactly.
So you don't have to worry about people's intentions, because if they make a bad mistake, then that's going to hurt mama, my sister, nephews. It's like your decisions affect everybody. So you just have to be a little bit more cautious and slow down a little bit with your movement.
Do y'all have family meetings?
Our business meetings is a family meeting, because everybody in the meeting is family for the most part. We don't really have friends. You either family or you ain't.
Right.
So the friends is kind of the ones you gotta like hold at a distance. And if you gotta hold them at a distance, why is that? Do you really want that person around you? So if you with us, you in our tribe, and we meet every Monday and Tuesday. Monday is like the executives, and then Tuesdays everybody. So we're on a Zoom call. Yep.
Balance, structure, and just one team for the dream. Wow. So y'all don't hire outside of the family?
We do. It's just for some of the things that we need, they're critical. And as we're building, we want a family member on that particular role. And some of them you have to be around for like 6 months to build up your brand and your rep before you can hire somebody else. So starting off, it'll be a family member, and then
they can hire up underneath.
Because it's got to be their referral, and they're vouching for that person.
Exactly, to make sure that the business stand on good ground.
Absolutely.
Y'all better take notes. Take notes, because I'm definitely taking mentally notes, and I can go rewatch.
They can too.
Exactly.
And their mama and them and all them.
Exactly. Like, share this video with your family. No, I mean, like, I'm in awe. I mean, he is definitely just like igniting some fire within me to just definitely be more family oriented with business as well. If you can possibly get through to your family to see the vision, you know, because a lot of, like I said, y'all a family of a kind.
I mean, it took some effort, because with family, like you can tell them, but then it comes to a time where you actually have to show them. And in different generations, it's like some people, they'll jump right on. Then some people, they're going to watch a little bit to see if it's worth it.
Yeah.
And then some going to have to wait until, okay, y'all made it, then I'll come. We'll use everybody, but when you come determines your position.
Right. So if you waiting too late, and don't be saying nothing when
you might not be pouring the account. I mean, getting good accounts.
Just as someone else coming in to apply, you know, you can't talk.
Everybody does everything. Everybody makes wine. Everybody puts on labels. So you all get in and help when you can. So you can't be
wait till it blow up and then want to get in and be an executive.
we don't play those games. You gotta have skin in the game.
Can't do that.
Nope.
Family or no family.
Skin in the game.
Yes. Be like, you wasn't with us when we was shooting in the gym.
Practice?
Yes.
But some people are like that, but we'll still use them. We'll just have a different role for people when it comes to that.
And that's great. That's y'all also mindset around it, because some people like, nah, you can't be a part of this. You weren't a part when we started, but
it's still family. If you don't help them do it, you gotta help them through it. Might as well help them do it.
Wow. So would you say that the military background helped you all with where you all at with the company? Does that play a part, like, you know, the values and stuff that was instilled within you all as children?
The structure helps, but most important for me is like living in different countries. I didn't have a luxury to be like, okay, I'm not gonna play with that person because of the color of their skin. If I saw somebody with skateboard, a ball, I'm sitting there by myself. I'm gonna play whatever y'all playing, just so I can play and have friends. So that got me to, like, I really don't look at color, I look at energy. So it helps when you're dealing with different people. I have experiences where I can relate to people without lying, because they can tell if you like giving them the boo-boo français, as we call it, or if you actually genuinely can relate to something that they had in their life and just build on that. So at least it's not you're not building a foundation on a lie, because that person could be an executive, it could be your next play. I don't know who these people are, so I treat everybody the same, like a VIP.
I love that, because we were saying that earlier about, you know, when booking stuff, you know, you're gonna if I had a podcast today with him and then a celebrity called me up and be like, hey, let me jump on your podcast, which way do you go? And for his integrity and just, you know, being impeccable with your word, that would be to still come out here with him and, hey, passing that up and just knowing, you know, maybe later after this, then I can do you, but just making sure that you treat people how you would want to be treated in the business game and family or whatever, however, in the streets, however. Make sure you giving that energy that you would want given to you.
I'm flexible. So you had a celebrity, I'm like, look, go ahead and get
I'm
that.
like, you come out with me. But you know what? That's good. I probably would have did something like that. Like, come on with your wines, let's go. We gonna go interview, you know, whoever.
I'd have felt right
like,
in here.
come on.
Just...
You'll be up in there too. that's a good way to do it, yeah. And so, it was something else I was gonna ask. Y'all don't be looking at my other videos and when I get the lit brain. It was something that was coming. It'll come to me like it always do. So if you watch it, you'll see that it's gonna come to me. So what I was gonna say, I had to keep saying but you know when you got that question that you really wanted to ask and it just left.
And it's gonna come halfway through the next question.
Right. So we discussed you being out here, being from Indiana and the difference of the nature. So what else do you love about being in Atlanta since you've been here?
I like the parks.
Oh, the walking parks.
Cascade Springs, Reynolds Park.
Wait, Cascade Springs, what is it?
That's the second person I've talked to in Atlanta that don't know about the Cascade Springs. It's in Cascade. It's a Cherokee spring that runs right.
It's like a waterfall?
It's kinda. It's not like a waterfall per se. It's more like a cliff. And it drops down and drops down.
Go there.
But you can go sit your feet in the water, meditate, cleanse yourself, and then you can also walk and hike around. It's a nice 4 out of 5. It's a nice place.
It's so many nice parks in Georgia that I need to see this summer. And what I have to say, it's just like I've been to Kennesaw, I've been to Snow Mountain, but it's so much more to see than them 2 parks. I be seeing them on IG, y'all. Some lady posted them, I forgot her name.
I see them too with the
She is a dark girl. She's gorgeous. I think she has
curly
like
hair.
Curly hair.
Yeah, I know you talking about.
Yeah.
I'm mad I can't remember her name, but
and
some
so
of them places
y'all, she be at all of them. Like I'm gonna get to some of them this summer, and it's spring, so maybe before the summer. Yeah. Especially since you talking about Cascade.
Just go sit. I mean, it's kind of shaded, so it's not too hot. But if you gonna go before it gets Africa out here.
Oh wow, too hot.
It's gonna be hot, and you might be stuck out in one of those trails, and you don't know where you at.
Wow.
So.
Oh wow.
But there's tons of the neighborhood parks are kind of like the best.
Yeah. To my like this.
But I have one like this, but Kenwood Park, but it actually has like a trail, and then it has like a track. And there's basketball courts and things. It's almost like a college university without the school.
Wow, what is it?
Kenwood. That's like in between maybe Fayetteville and Jonesboro.
I figured it was way out there in Pump Nelly where he come from.
Yeah, Fayetteville, Jonesboro, Riverdale. We all 3 right in the same area.
Okay, so it's not too far. And so and it's also one called the Bamboo Park. Have you heard of it? Bamboo Forest Park?
That sounds like it's dope.
But I heard you can get lost up in there too, and it's nice and pretty. Like it has bamboo trees or something like that. But yeah, y'all. If you visit Georgia, just don't visit Atlanta. Like make sure you book a day to be able to go to one of the parks. Like, and that's not even a plug. They're just being able to, like he said, go and be within yourself and just have that moment of meditation and experience the nature, which is good for you. So, and it's so beautiful out here. Like, I just love it. I've been here going on 10 years this year.
Oh, really? Where'd you come from?
Jackson, Mississippi, y'all.
The crooked letters.
Crooked letter, I.
What made you come here? It's my turn to interview. What made you come here?
Okay, now, I like when people like to ask me questions, though. They're not in my business. So, I moved here. I visit when I was in middle school. I visited with a church. And each time, like I said, when I came, we went to some mountain where we went to Six Flags for the school, which was nice, and I just loved the atmosphere. And then the next visit was to like a stone mountain, and I just like, oh, I love this. I never seen this in Mississippi. We was somewhere. It's a blur, but I remember like the feeling I got. And I gotta say this was like when I was a little girl. I just looked up and I always knew that I wanted to be somewhere else. Like I would just see planes and I always wanted to fly and try a plane one day and just, I don't know. I guess I was manifesting. I didn't know I was manifesting.
Right.
And so
that's a bottle too.
Huh?
That's a bottle too, by the way. Manifest.
Bottle.
A bottle of wine.
Oh yeah, they got Manifest Intention. I love this company, and so I'm gonna have him to name all of them. So I would let people talk me out of moving here, even though I said I always wanted to come and move out here. I would let people talk me out because they were fearful. They, you know, and they had good intentions, but with fearful intentions, I would say. So I don't know if it was good or just out of fear of their own selves.
Right.
So 1 year after my uncle passed, and I had lost my mom and my sister. So after just going through those losses and just relationship I had was in out there, I was like, you know what? 1 year I just told myself, this is the year I'm actually gonna move to Atlanta. And so I just started literally working towards it that year instead of just steady thinking it like I wanted. And I had been saying it, which is great. Thinking and saying it is good, but I started putting forth action behind it, and that's how I came.
That's what's up.
Thank you.
Welcome. Do you like it here better? Of course, probably. Or do you like Mississippi?
Can I plead the fifth on that?
I understand.
Because I'm from Mississippi. I'm born and raised in Mississippi. However, I've been out here 10 years. I've been out here 10 years. I do love it. When I first moved out here, they was like, how you like it? I'm like, I just got here. I don't even know how I'm supposed to like it. You know, I got to see. And so to be out here 10 years, I love it. Like I said, so many parts, and it ain't always about spending money, because the first time I came out was in the club spending money. I'm like, I got to change this. I can do something else with that money.
That part.
So the parks and just the atmosphere, the people, the culture, the supportive culture, you know, it's not all about me type of culture out here, or, you know, don't do that. If anything, people is reaching out to tell you things to do to better yourself, you know, and not trying to withhold information. You may run across a couple of people that may be in that mindset, but for the most people I've ran into out here, it's always supportive, inspiring, uplifting, and it's just great. Like I said this in my last video with the author Adria Kitten. Me and her both discussed the same thing. Like, it's great, you know.
Yeah, it is kind of nice, especially when you can meet people and not want something from them. You can meet them for them. It's like with our wine. I know the wine is going to sell itself. I don't have to do nothing but not mess it up, rather. But when you meet people, I can meet you for you. And then it's like a better relationship because I don't want nothing from you. It's like, how can we do something reciprocal and then we can both build and move forward, versus I see you as a play, or I see something I can get from you. We're not built like that. Right.
And that's the culture out here, period. And if you don't know it, you're gonna learn it. You know, you can't be a just for self person. It's a reciprocation of relationships that you build.
Right.
And it ain't just going into something looking for something, but how can you support others, you know, and help them as well? Like, you got to be a servant as well to others. So.
Got to be both. In the referral business. You
serve and people will serve you.
How you going to expect somebody to do something for you if you won't do something for them also? It should be the same. So that way, in your relationships, you're giving your all, they're giving their all, and everybody's getting what they're receiving. Even if their all may come off as a different energy, you can still feel that you're getting something from them and you're not wasting your time or your energy.
Exactly.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. So you got to be definitely intentional with people that you meet when you out here networking and things like that, and actually have a plan with it. Like, you know, what are your intentions when you do meet people? Like I said, being intentional not just with one area, but with all areas of your life, like he was just saying, and the energy. Because, baby, this is another thing. If I'm a life coach certified, and so that's just from things I've been through and, you know, the work I've done and experience. And I'm not a psychiatrist nor a doctor nor a therapist. I tell people that all the time. However, if a person is just steady coming to me, dropping out problems, and I've coached you and advised you through these issues for maybe, oh, let me move that. It's all tacky, y'all.
I ain't even paying
I
no
just
attention.
seen it. I'm like, no. I'll tell y'all about that later. But maybe I said now I got a little hungry, but we were waiting. He was in traffic, and I'm like, let me go get me some. I didn't want from Wendy's, but there was some fries. And so yeah, I'll tell y'all now.
It happens.
Right. And so just being able to be intentional about the relationships and things like that, because if someone is dropping things off on you, like you're trash, like you're a trash can, just piling trash on you. I hope I'm saying it right now. And so as a life coach, they be like, well, you're a life coach, but if you ain't paying, you're a brother, friend, or whomever, and you just steady dropping off trash, that's the energy. So at the end of the day, you know, first time I can advise you, second time I can, you know, I can listen to you, then advise you, but if third, three, fourth, no, then it's an energy drainer. Like, you have to be protective of your energy, because if I keep letting the same people drop their trash off on me, I'm nobody's trash can, and that's stealing my energy. You know, if you're not getting anywhere with what I'm saying, it's time for you to do something different. It's time for me to tell you something different, and that's to leave me alone.
Right. They gotta do steps, right?
Exactly. You throw in the life coach card when you ain't paid nothing for 4 or 5 sections. You just want to keep talking about the same thing and don't want to hear me tell you it's time for you to stop talking about the same thing. Because I'm going to say this, if you steady complaining and steady reliving, replaying that same thing, you're steady continue to create that same chaos and havoc in your life.
Facts.
And wine is great, but you know, you don't drink wine just to, you know, bait the problem. Wine is a social, what would you say? Wine is
sip and share. It's a social drink.
Exactly. Not to drown your problems.
You got to deal with them sometimes. You can't be numb the whole time, because then that time when you don't have the wine, now everything's going to crash.
Exactly.
And then
So,
it's an issue.
Yeah, so that's what I wanted to point out too, with just saying that people like to turn to things, you know, to try to bait what they're going through, or keep replaying it with people that they can or would allow them to. But it's sometimes just shutting up, going within, and dealing with what you need to do and being intentional with it.
That's you said it before, you got to have a goal. You got to have a goal for your intention. So sometimes the goal is worth more than the madness. You just focus on the goal and I know this is easier said than done, because it's hard to shake yourself off those problems, especially if they're roots. So I'm not saying that just, okay, stop thinking about it, because it can take months, years, weeks, depending on the type of energy it is. But you do have to find a way to purge yourself from that energy. And depending on what it is, there may be different ways that you have to purge. It could be crystal, sun, whatever, nature.
Exactly.
But find out what it is so you can at least help yourself.
Exactly. And so, like he said, it can take a different amount of time for each person, but that's depending on the work that you're going to do, the work you've done or the work you're doing. And then unless you start with doing the work, you know, you can't get to where you need to be if you don't start today. So yeah,
that internal, that's what they say. I read a whole bunch of stuff, and they say what the battle inside is the most important battle that you can fight. So if you win the one internally, you know, everything else will be easy peasy.
Yes, I heard someone say the enemy was the inner me.
That part.
Yeah, so, you know, it's great to sip and share social functions. However, don't just thinking, you know, even with weed, I don't know, do you smoke, or you don't want to answer that on the podcast? This is a plead the fifth.
I'm gonna say less, but you know, if I'm in legal states, you know.
Right, why not? But I feel like with you just saying that, it ain't like a consistent basis of you using it to cope with life and problems.
You got to do it at times, especially like it affects people different ways. So, you know, if you're getting to a point for anxiety, instead of taking let's not even get into to the other stuff. But yeah, you can just, that might calm you down as a person, or it might change your vibration in a positive way. And if you can understand yourself and do that, then by all means do your thing. Especially meditation. It might get you to a different level where you're you can meditate on one thing and then partake, and then your whole thought process change to a higher level. That's changing your vibration, and that's valuable.
Right, and I'm laughing because I'm thinking about me on weed. Like, yeah, you talking about thinking. I think too much when I smoke. When I have smoked, I don't do it now. But it's just, weed is different for everybody, and for me, it's just like, oh, too many thoughts. Like, I think I'm a thinker already because you know, I'm a creative, but I'm a different thinker on weed. It's just like too much.
I mean, you might need to sort through them thoughts because somebody could be trying to tell you something. Them thoughts.
Well, it ain't really just thoughts neither, because, but I mean, I'm always in a thought process, or mindful and aware of my thoughts. But it's just like on weed, maybe it's more paranoia or something. I don't know. It's just, I don't like weed like that.
You need to sit down.
When I was younger, I think I maybe had grown used to it, that I couldn't tell the difference. Maybe I just felt the high. But as an adult, it's just like, nah.
When you were younger, you were on something else. That was a different kind of weed back then.
So you talking about this weed?
This weed now is like, it's a little bit different. They got some extra stuff in there. It's more potent.
And that's why I tell people, like, be mindful, because they put all kind of stuff in this weed. It ain't the same weed. And that question came back to y'all. I told y'all. So you was talking about energy and things like that, picking up on people's energy. What is your horoscope?
I'm a Leo.
Okay, I thought he was gonna say he's a Cancer, because I'm a Cancer and I'm very intuitive and energy picker upper.
No, I'm a Leo. Yeah.
Okay.
Moon Aquarius. There's a whole bunch of other stuff.
Okay. I'm trying to see who I know. What day is your birthday?
August the 1st.
Okay. I know a couple of Leos. Okay.
End
But
of
y'all,
July.
hold on. You split what kind of Cancer? You got a little Cancer.
I mean, I might. It just depends. I mean, we all got all 12 in us. Depending on the situation, you can use each one. But if I'm remembering correctly, the Leo is what I need to work on the most in this current time.
You lost me.
We'll get to that at a different level.
Right.
But Leo is just the energy, and that's what that energy is, who I'm supposed to be now.
So it can change?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I'm...
Different situations, you do different things, right?
Okay.
Yeah. And those could be a different...
True. I'm going to say this because... So true. You know me, Cancers are nurturing, loving, caring, things like that. And so Tiny is a Cancer. And I was watching something, they was like, yes, Tiny keep the group together, you know, because all the stuff they got going on with Escape. And so they was like, but one thing y'all don't know about Tiny, she'll cuss you out. And so she was like, that's what I do with my kids. My kids be like mad at me. I put them in their place because somebody did, and they be like, come here, give me a hug. So I called my daughter. I said, Zakira, I said, who's someone who will put you in your place and then be like, give me a hug? She was like, you? Because people have called me, I be like, why you just went off on your daughter like that? And I don't just be too crucial, but I will have to let them know, you know. And that's the Cancer in me, like, and that's what people be going wrong. They be taking our kindness for weakness, and then when we put them in their place, or, you know, we draw back, and they get this different side, they don't know how to take it. Well, it's in us all alone. It's just that we're not going to do nothing to you for that to be us. You have to do something to us for us to show you, hey, now you done went too far. Now I got to let you know what it is. Hey.
That's my point. They called up the smoke. That Cancer sat down a little bit. That something else done came through and handled the business.
Yes, that's the bull, the Taurus. Because my mom is the Taurus. Yeah.
My dad's a Leo.
Wait, what is my dad? He in June. Maybe June the 2nd. I don't know.
We're all Leos. My dad, my son.
Oh, wow.
We all got the same name. My dad, I'm the first. My dad's the second. My son's the 10th. So grandma was the 9th.
Wow, the 1st, the 2nd, the 10th, and the 9th. Oh, wow.
So growing up, that's like a lot of fire signs. So being in the military, to go back to that question, it helped me like understand how to relate to different people and different signs. So normally Leos in the same house kind of bump heads. So you got to figure out how to make that relationship work. And sometimes it either be getting out the house or just giving people space. But I can kind of fit with most people. Some people I'm just like, your energy just throw it off. I don't even want to use the effort because it's going to take too much. And you got to give up yourself. I'm like, I just go be friends with somebody else.
If it's gonna compromise me giving up who I am to coexist with you, I ain't gonna do it. Because I'm gonna still be that giving, nurturing person that I am, just not for you.
Yeah, you can give your heart, just don't give your soul.
Exactly. And you have to guard your heart.
That part too.
So yeah, I definitely, and that's the thing of knowing your sign. Like, I'm just not a sign person and all that. I'm not just into it like that. But I would say that just the makeup and then just seeing other counselors, their makeup, there is some truth to it, you know. Hey.
Just know yourself.
Right. Exactly. So, is there anything else you want to say? And first of all, let me ask you this. What would you say to someone out there who is looking to start their business or get on their purposeful journey, whether they're by themselves or with their family? What would you say to them?
Find a mentor or guidance. Don't try to do it on your own, because you could waste time, energy, money on the wrong thing. And a lot of people out here who are successful, who have seen success, will help you. But make sure your mentor is somebody who's successful and they either succeeded or failed in what you're trying to do. So for example, if I'm making wine, should I have a mentor that makes, or that's a school teacher? Not to say anything's wrong with school teachers, but I would use her for a different type of mentorship. But if I need help with wine, I'm gonna call somebody that does wine, or somebody that failed at it, because they can tell me what not to do so I won't fail. It's like, you can't take marriage advice from somebody who ain't never been married. So how can you tell me how it's gonna work? But I'll take some from somebody who's been divorced, because I can do what they didn't do.
Right, they'd be like, one thing I should have did better was, one thing you don't ever want to do is
that part.
Exactly.
But if they never did it, it's like, how you know?
True.
That's where your information come from is valuable. That's most important. It doesn't have to be. They don't have to be famous. You can find somebody just on the marriage thing that's been married for like 30 years. That right there is an expert, because it ain't been good, it ain't been bad all the time, but they ain't left.
Right, and no matter what, you know, because people get caught up in, oh, well, they ain't been all that. Well, ain't nobody been all that.
They still got each other.
They still with each other, so it's something you can still gain and learn from that situation. And so, don't try to look at the negative. Look at what you can receive that's positive, and that's in everything.
Right. They could have figured out how to make it a business relationship that you could need now to be cohesive in the house with your kids. But you're gonna miss the blessing, because you don't know what people are really going through and what they've done. But if they together, they together. If they seem happy, that's better than some.
Yeah. They riding it out. They know consistency, if nothing else.
They ain't killed
how to
each
be
other.
Consistent. Yeah. So you were saying, you know, mentorship. I'm gonna ask this question since you have brought that up. Have y'all considered, like, maybe a course or something on teaching others to start a wine business or to make wine? Has that been something y'all considered?
That's something my sister has talked about. Bringing people in who want to make wine, because we are a winery and we actually make our own. Right. So we can be a vessel for other people who are wanting to start their own wine, where they can come in under our umbrella and not have to worry about some of the permits, the licenses, and things like that.
Wow. But so have their own company and label.
Their own brand, their own product, and we can produce it for them.
Wow.
We have talked about that, but that'll come when it's time.
Yeah. Okay, I love that. And so, is there anything else you want to say besides what I had asked?
Nah, just people get outside, get some of this sun. Of course, drink some wine.
Yeah. One more funny thing. We were supposed to be in the library, and I'm like, I thought about it. I was like, wait, that's a county place. We up in the library, and then upload it to YouTube. Look, be like, how would they know? Somebody gonna know. Y'all be like, oh, the Pink Link podcast. I probably would have been viral, but hey, who want to go viral every day? Bars?
We don't want security, not over the wine. We want
Like, they up
security
in
to
there
drink.
drinking. So that's what made us come outside and just being more cost efficient with the podcast as we continue to grow. So, and as we growing, you all can definitely be a part of that growth by liking, sharing, commenting on this video, and just making sure that you tune in. And I definitely appreciate and thank you all for doing so thus far. And like I was saying on the last one, where it's 200,000 or 2 million, I'm definitely appreciative and grateful of this journey, because it's consistency for me no matter what, and just having a vision and continue to pursue that vision in the midst and in the beginning stages as it continues to get to where I know I want it to go and where I know it's going. And so with that being said, as always, as we are doing and as you see me doing firsthand, and sip south, that you sip and share with your friends, and being purposeful in doing so, you are great in that life you desire, you create. So get to create and go out and create the life you desire, because hey, why not? You are the bomb diggity. You are the bomb, baby. Bomb, baby. Okay, we out. We out of here.